Go.
We're going to go into the setup and diagnostic mode on a 772A ARC trainer here. So what you do first is from the main screen, you press and hold the language button until it beeps. The console will make up 2 beeps. And when you release it, you see the access tool button. You want to press that. That will bring up this pin number screen. And the pin you want to press in is, you want to use the clear key, which is a circle with the line through it. Then the 770 is the code, and then the green enter key to accept the code. Now it will reboot the GUI into the diagnostic mode, which when it comes up, it will have 3 buttons across the screen as you see here. Serial number at the bottom, software version here. You get your 3 buttons. Your first one's setup, second one's statistic, where your miles and hours and so forth is, and then your OEM diagnostics. So the setup, we'll start here. We'll press the setup. You get time, date, and units in the first screen. Time is obviously setting the time. This will be on the clock that you'll see on the display screen. It also is valuable for putting a timestamp on error codes that will come up in the screen. Changing it, you'd enter it manually here. You could add a -1 hour for daylight saving time here, but you can enter it manually right here as well. Then enter will save it and go to the next screen, which will be the date. Same thing, you can put the date in as, you can change the style where the date and month change around, but we keep it the same. Then you have the location, you have distance and weight. That'd be if you want to have in kilometers or miles or pounds or kilograms or also stone. So we go back to, in the US we keep it in miles and pounds usually. And in the next, this is your screen. I should probably go back to the main screen. So when you go to the next screen, you have EPEM setup. That's going to be for the TV. We can do that in a separate video, but we'll have your TV setup right here for setting your channels and other options on the TV. Go back to the main screen. All your times and workout times will come up in this screen right here. Your default and your max times. This is basically a club configuration, and a lot of people ask if we would call marathon mode, and or would be turning this off. The max time, then there's no max. And it can be 20, 40, 30, or 60, and then the default will go 20 up to 60 as well. The next time one button is the pause. You can pause as defaulted to off. You can turn it up to 2 minutes or off, which is the default. The next screen will be the sound. You can turn the console beep on and off, the headphone beep to some on or off, and then your default volume can be set there. Usually I recommend leaving those on, as people don't hear the button, then beeps, they don't know the buttons are functioning. Some people request to turn them off. That's where they can do that. Your quick start setup is here. This is just default resistance mode. I could go into more detail on this, but you have ARC mode, which is the resistance goes from 0 to 100. Constant power, which is in watts up to 900 watts, 0 to 900, it defaults at 35. And adaptive power is levels from 1 to 21. Factory default is ARC mode, as most people are used to, so I usually say leave it there unless you choose to do it otherwise for a different type of training. And then go back to the main screen. The last button is language. That's where you can activate the optional languages, set your default. Obviously English is set as your default right now. Any optional ones you can either set as default, then all the other ones are set as include. You can include them. And obviously the ones that are not included are off. Then you go back to the last button that's on the screen will be the restore factory defaults. If I wanted to change everything back to the way it shipped from the factory, the only thing it won't change will be the time and the date. I could just press that button, and it will, that little beep here there tells me it set everything back to the factory default. To exit the screen and go back to the main screen, you just press the exit right there, and that will bring you right back to the user screen. And there we are, back to the user screen.